against the invisible background of the absence of form appears form in the form of thought. All right, so the first thing to observe is that the only way you know what the mind is thinking is by observation. So instead of identifying with the content of the movie, you become aware that you are the witness, the observer of the movie. So you get out of the melodrama. If you think you're one of the figures in the movie, you get sucked into the movie, right? You get sucked into the drama. And you start having feelings about these thoughts. All right. One step removed from identifying with the thoughts as me, my thoughts, is to realize that I am not the thoughts, I am the witness of the thoughts. I am the witness. The next step back, I am the observer. I am the observer, the witness. It isn't the thoughts, it's the experience of the thoughts. So you're the experiencer, witness, observer. Huh? What is it that's witnessing and observing? You're still going to call that I, see? We're trying to get back from identifying with what's out there. First you think I'm the body, then you think I'm the mind, I think I'm the thoughts. As you pull back out, it's obvious that you're the witness, the observer, the experiencer. Now, try telling your mind to stop witnessing, observing, and you'll see that you can't. Because that's not you either. Witnessing and observing is a quality of consciousness. It's not you. Everybody's consciousness witnesses and observes. It's an impersonal. So you see, what we're going to do is stop personalizing everything and see that this is happening of its own. There's no volition on your part to be aware of what's going on. You don't have any choice in the matter. These conditions are impersonal. To witness, observe, experience the content of mind, to be aware of form, that's all impersonal. That goes with the hardware. So, you draw back from being a subject in the movie, in the drama, what's happening out there, to being the witness of the subject that's experiencing it, from the viewpoint of the observer. And how does one know? How does the observer even know that it's observing? It's because it's conscious. So you let go of the identifications with all of that, and you see that consciousness is what is allowing all these phenomena. At this point, one thinks one is the consciousness. So you see, you stopped identifying with the movie, you're the witness of the movie, the observer, the experiencer. You move back to the awareness that it is consciousness itself that is doing this. Consciousness itself is impersonal. Awareness then arises. The awareness that one is conscious. Awareness is not something that you have any control over. It is not you either. That out of which consciousness arises is non-form. Non-form. It arises out of a presence. It arises out of the source. One moves back from the manifest to the unmanifest as a potentiality, the potentiality to be aware. In becoming manifest, one goes from the unmanifest into the potentiality to become manifest as the conscious awareness. The awareness is impersonal. It is the source out of which all existence arises, the substrate of all that is. One might say that the allness of manifestation arises out the allness of manifestation arises out of the unmanifest, that which is the infinite source of the potentiality for existence itself, not even existence, but the potentiality for existence, is what Krishna calls the Supreme. It is the source as being not different than that which you are. The minute, as soon as it's depersonalized, one realizes it is beyond all time, beyond all existence. I realized that at age 12 in the snowbank. The presence came in with such impact of divine exquisiteness. Oh, God. And the knowingness arises out of that field. The knowingness arises out of the field. The knowingness is so absolute, henceforth, one knows on a level of knowing which the ego cannot experience. The ego can claim to know something, but it has no verification of its knowingness. It's a presumption. The ego can only presume that it knows. It doesn't really know that it knows. It has no confirmation. The presence renders an absolute authority that is absolute. The presence is so stunningly, overwhelming, obvious, and it stops all thought. There is no question left to question. There is no this to question about that. That which is all that is. Therefore, there's no questions to ask, because it's the absoluteness of self-identity. The absoluteness of self-identity is a little hard to describe. One day the cat was sitting in the middle of the carpet. The absolute perfection of its catness, the absolute perfection to the degree to which the cat was being that which it is, with no excuse, no explanation, just stunningly reveals itself. It just is what it is. And each thing can only be what it is, except perfectly. So what